Okay, so welcome everybody. We're working on congruence today. Congruence is a word. It's part of the work we're doing on purpose and what congruence means to the overall idea of your purpose, your goal, your goals, and your dreams. So purpose, dream, and goals. So we're going to look at that in looking at it through congruence. So we'll be explaining what it is and why we need it. Let me find my slide here. There we go. So this is a beautiful summer morning presentation. Okay, so congruence, the definition. So let's start with the definition. Every part of you is aligned with your chosen purpose. From the top to the bottom, what is inside is outside, that your vision matches your actions. So congruence is that you are completely aligned in every way with your purpose and your dream. Now, that's the ideal we're talking about. That's the definition of congruence. So one of the areas you'd use congruence is to ask, does the dream I'm pursuing match my purpose? So we're doing this up and down the scale, making sure that each item on the scale matches. So does the dream I'm pursuing match my purpose? If it doesn't quite fit, then we need to adjust the dream so it comes into line with the purpose. Or we might even have to twig the purpose slightly, and so the dream aligns. So what we're looking for is that alignment. When you answer yes to both your dream and purpose, that they are congruent, that's where we want to be. We want to have that match. And then we do the same with our goals, which you do with every goal you create. Again, you're asking yourself, does this goal align with my purpose and my dream? If the answer is yes, great. What are the action steps you're going to take to achieve this goal? So remember, we talked about in the last video, we talked about dream is your guiding light. It's pulling you forward. It's your motivator to keep going. Your purpose is what you're working to achieve right now. This is your purpose. This is your reason for being. This is your unique reason for being here on the planet right now. And then finally, you have your goals that are working to move you closer to your purpose and to that ideal of your dream. Okay, so does the goal align with your purpose and your dream? Does this action bring me closer to my purpose or to take me further away? So another part of congruence is, does this action that I'm going to take, so maybe you decide you want a new car, but your purpose is to help feed the needy. A new car doesn't really quite jive with that purpose. So maybe you're going to get a second-hand car so that you free up more resources to pursue your purpose. So you're keeping in mind that what your actions are congruent with your purpose and your dream. So here's that matching again. Does it fit? Does it match? Do they align? Check all your goals in this manner. So you go up and down, you go like you have a goal, your actions you're going to take to achieve that goal. So there may be 3 or 4 actions. You have your goal, the actions with maybe a timestamp of when you're going to complete each one. Maybe it's an ongoing one that you're going to do every day. So that's what we're talking about. And again, this is this moving back and forth, tweaking and changing wording and so on until you feel it. You'll feel that purpose or that goal come into line. It'll suddenly click into place for you. And then that's when you know you're congruent with your vision. Okay? So now the interesting thing is the gap between your vision, which is your ideal, your dream, and your reality. There's a gap there between your ideal up here and what you're actually living down here somewhere. Let me get my arm up a little bit further. Okay, so there's a gap there. There'll always be a gap. It's nothing to be alarmed about. We all have gaps between what our dream is and where we're actually at. And there should always be a gap, because your work is to continually sort of work away at closing that gap. But it's an ideal. In the universe, in this physical universe, absolutes are unattainable. So you're not going to reach that absolute ideal, but you're going to continue to work for it. That's why it's your guiding light. That's why it's pulling you forward, because wow, what would it be like to live your ideal life, your ideal dream? What would that be like? It would be awesome. And that's what pulls us to do the next action, to overcome the next barrier. So the gap is where you find your goals. And this is like, it's like dominoes falling into place. It excites me to think about it. Once you establish your purpose, it automatically creates your dream. Now you have you look at where you're at compared to your dream, and you go, oh, I've got so much work to do. Okay, that's where your goals come from. What do I need to do to live my purpose? Is it write a book, take a course, find a coach? It could be any number of things. These are just suggestions here. If it's write a book, then what actions are you going to take? So there's the big goal, is to write a book. Every day I'm going to do 500 words. Every day I'm going to communicate to my agent. Every day I'm going to do, I don't know, 2 hours of correction, or I'm going to take a writing course in the evening, whatever those actions are. Okay, so that's what creates those goals. So where do the goals come from? I've said so many times that a goal can't be made in the absence of a dream or purpose. You can't just willy-nilly pull a goal out of the hat, because it has no alignment. It has no congruence to what you're trying to do. So it's going to distract you and pull you away. So the benefits of congruence, getting everything aligned as closely as you possibly can. You are always working on the things that align with your goal and your purpose and your vision. You are becoming your vision as you work on that. And this is one of the, and I will talk about this in another one, is rehearsing being the person you have to be in order to achieve your goal, to achieve your purpose, and to achieve your dream. Who do you have to be? How do we work on that vision? Distractions are eliminated. As long as you use that, is it congruent? Is this action congruent? If it isn't, then it's going to distract you if you take it up. So you want to make sure that everything you're doing is congruent. That doesn't mean you can't have any fun, that you can't go out and enjoy a night out on the town. It does, though, say, are you aligned? Is everything you're doing, maybe taking a break, aligns with what you're doing? You need to rest and recuperate and recharge your batteries and reinvigorate so you get back into that creation mode of whatever your purpose is. So remember that. A distraction, so distraction could be, let's think of a distraction. It could be deciding to go on a road trip for 5 months out in the desert, away from society, from everything that you require to work on your purpose and your dream. That would be a huge distraction. So it could be like taking drugs or getting drunk, having, consuming too much alcohol, anything like that, which would distract you from being able to function the next morning and work on your action plan for that day. That's a distraction. So it doesn't mean you can't go out and have a glass of wine with friends, because that is part of your relaxation, but moderation. To keep you aligned, you have to moderate those things. Saves time and money chasing after things you don't need. This is so amazing that when you're aligned and congruent, you are not going to go chasing after rainbows. You're going to look and say, does this align with my purpose and my dream? If it doesn't, then I'm not going to buy it. I don't need it. So it could be, do you need to have 5 or 6 suits with fancy shirts and ties and nice fragrance to go with it, if all you're doing is sitting in your room writing your soon to be absolutely famous top best-selling book? You don't need all of those things. Okay, less stress in your life, so you're aligned. You know what you're doing. You don't get this feeling of overwhelm as well, because you know how the process works. You may have the most spectacular goal, and we talked about a spectacular dream, and we talked about Hughes. We talked about Hughes and his dream of getting 100 million people living their entrepreneurial ideal and making money at it, living their passion. That was his, Lewis House, sorry. That was his big purpose. So you know what you're doing. It's huge, but you're working down here, and what he might be doing today is creating a video or doing an interview, which is what he is absolutely amazing at, is doing a video, one of a person in a particular niche that shows people with that particular passion how to make money from it. So you're working right down in the what would you say, in the trenches. You're not, that goal, that purpose is huge, but you're working down here at a single step that you're doing, so you don't get overwhelmed, you don't get stressed. More joy and flourish as you live the life of your dreams. So as you begin to pursue this, as you get everything aligned, the universe then aligns itself to you. You will experience more joy. You'll flourish. You'll be happy. You'll be blissful, because you are working towards a purpose that has deep meaning for you. And because it has meaning, and because you're accomplishing things, that brings about this just upwelling of happiness, adventure, bliss, all those good things. The magic begins to happen. The universe aligns for you. Plunk, something you're trying to do drops right into your lap, right when you need it. That's what being congruent is all about. Your congruence brings the universe onto your side, and the universe now helps align things for you, because they know you have everything aligned. The universe now aligns with you, and the magic, really literally, the magic starts happening. So that's what congruence is all about, folks. And But when I go back to this and you hear me talk about this time and time again, and it's like, you can't say this too often, that in order to proceed, in order to get everything lined up and congruent, to have a purpose, to have a dream, you need to have a positive mindset. Because otherwise that negativity is going to drown you every single time. So if you're struggling, if you have trouble finding the right relationship, if nothing seems to go right for you, if everything seems to go wrong, if just when you start to get ahead, something comes and pushes you down or knocks you back down and you're and you need to work on your positive mindset. That's going to start the magic flowing until you can see things differently and see them with that positive bent. Then you can say, I know, I believe, I can change. And from there, we start working on affirmations. And that's why I talk about our affirmations masterclass. Positive affirmations are the basic tool. It undercuts all the negativity. It moves you slowly towards that tipping point of having a balanced mind, a positive mind. It doesn't mean we're like eliminating all the negativity. That's one of the mistakes people make when they start working with affirmations. So our course, our masterclass course, our affirmations masterclass, explains the technology of a positive affirmation. Certain things have to be in place. You can't just willy-nilly say anything that sounds nice. It has to have certain requirements because you're retraining your brain, and you need your brain to listen to you when you're retraining it. And as it listens to you and you create those positive neural pathways, then the negative pathways begin to fade away. But they don't fade away until you start really doing the work on changing that mindset. Okay, we also teach you how to install that habit. How do you get into the habit of using positive affirmations every day? How do you use them to change a particular problem that you might be having or dealing with, or an obstacle that you're coming up against? How do you use those to do that? And what is the big secret to success in using positive affirmations? We go all over that. It's worth $100, at least $100 or more. That probably doesn't really, you can't really put a value on it, because what it does for you is it moves you into the world of magic. It moves you into the world of positivity. It moves you into the world of possibility. And now you can see that you do have a purpose. You can rediscover your purpose. You can rediscover your dream. You can start setting goals that align with those two things. You become congruent. The universe sees that, aligns with you. How do you put a price on that? Right? We charge $24.97 for the course. That's all we ask. And if you go here, let me get that slide. If you go here, it's to our site, beautifulsummermornings.com/MC for masterclass registration. All one word, all small caps. That will take you there. That will give you more information about the course and a place to sign up and pay for the course. So go and have a look at it in the show notes, wherever this appears. So you might be seeing it in a blog post, or you might be seeing it on YouTube. Below the video, there will be a link to go and look at the registration and to learn more about the course. Okay? And finally, once again, this has been a beautiful summer morning presentation. I hope you've learned something from this presentation that you understand what congruence is better than you did before you came on board today. And you understand how important congruence is as you work to align your dream and your purpose and your goals to your dream and purpose, and understanding that those goals aren't arriving magically. They're the gap between your present reality and the dream you're striving for. I hope this all helps. Have a wonderful day. And remember, dream big and live inspired.